Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Salim.
Hi, how are you?
Do you see any bonfires in, in Flatbush?
No, no, right by my house they do what do you call it? They had a huge carnival. The Chabad that throws the carnivals, the whole entire from Quinton and
Oh,
Nostrand
wow.
all the way to R, the whole
Wow,
Nostrand.
wow, wow.
It was packed with people for the kids. They put it. But they're not the only ones. There are a couple others I saw on my way to shul later. A couple other blocks. They did the same kind of thing. But no bonfires by us. We
Yeah,
don't.
in ballpark, you have
Not a big thing too much for us.
music and fires.
Right.
It's very interesting because if you look at the Shulchan Aruch, the only thing the Shulchan Aruch says in Lag BaOmer is that students of Rabbi Akiva stop dying. This is it,
Right.
and this is why. According to the Ashkenazi custom, we can shave tomorrow. According to the Sephardic, you have to wait till
The
Lag
next day.
Dalet.
Yeah.
But all these celebrations, in honor of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, or it's really is not mentioned. But this is later in the years from Kabbalistic sources. This
Isn't it
is
something about this is like Torah Shabbat Peh was basically
right.
we
Basically,
celebrate.
what they say is you have to realize. I'll teach you a very interesting. Gemara is in Masechet, the Gemara is Masechet Baba Metzia. I'm not going to read maybe tomorrow morning, but the basic story Baba Metzia says that the Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai and his son Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon were locked in the cave. The Gemara says years later, after they came out, Rabbi Yudah Anasi came to the city of Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon, and he says, does he have any descendants? People told him that Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon, the grandson of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, is a good-looking guy, is fooling around with the girls. And all the girls are after him. Anyway, the Gemara tells us how very wisely he convinced him to come back to real Judaism. Listen to this. The Gemara says when this grandson died, they wanted to bury him in Meiron near his father, near Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Shimon. So they came to the cave. A huge snake was blocking the entrance to the cave. So they said to the snake, Ptach picha, uncoil yourself and let the son come to his father. He did not. So people thought, well, the fact that this kid in his teenage years was fooling around with the girls, so a voice came. This is the Gemara in Baba Metzia. A voice came and said, Lo mipnei shezeh gadol mizeh, not because the father is bigger than his son, ela shezeh lamad betza'ar me'ara v'zeh lo lamad. You hear this? Which means that as far as quantity, as far as greatness of Torah, the grandson was the same as his father. But to be alone 12 years in a cave without basics, just water and some boxes or whatever, the level of Torah. So what people explain is that those are the years that Rab Shimon ben Yochai wrote the Sefer HaZohar the way we have it. This
He
is
wasn't alone though. He was with his son, wasn't he?
yeah, he and his son.
He and his
He and
son, right?
Rabbi, no, but you hear this, and the voice comes and says, the kid also reached high levels, but the kid cannot be buried near his father because their level which means the Gemara is teaching us, according to that, it's not enough that you learn how much you invest from your personal comfort. Now, not that the person has to be poor to learn, but the reality is that Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai and his son were learning. The Gemara said that the bare minimum, you have water, and some food. But you know, the story is a famous story, but listen carefully to the story. The Gemara says over there, okay, you realize the Gemara needs a lot of explanation, but this is the Gemara says that Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai and Rabbi Yosef and Rabbi Yehuda was sitting, and a fourth person, a convert, Yehuda ben Gerim, and Rabbi Yehuda was praising the accomplishments of the Roman government. He says, look at the Romans. They build marketplaces, bridges, bathhouses. No one in the world understands why here is Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda, why in the world would Rabbi Yehuda praise them? Anyway, the Gemara says Rabbi Yossi shatak. Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai said, everything they did for themselves, not for us. The marketplaces to make money from prostitution, bathhouses to have pleasure, bridges to collect toll. Unfortunately, the fourth person there was unaware that there are spies all over the place. So he told over the story to a few people. You know, I heard an interesting debate. And the Romans found out, and they rewarded Rabbi Yehuda very much. If you remember, we learned Rosh HaMedabrim B'chol Makom. But Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, they wanted to kill him. So this is when he ran to the Cape. So Salim, how would you explain what's going on in this Gemara?
The part I understand. I thought it was a different story where Hashem asked at the end of time.
I just read you the Gemara.
No, I remember the story in a different context. I remember it where Hashem asked at the end of the times all the nations to come, say, I benefited Israel, this is what I did. And then Hashem tells them.
Yeah, okay, very, very good, yeah. Basically, what you're saying is that the other half of the story.
Right.
That's the Rav of Brisk explains this. The Rav of Brisk says like this. The Rambam says in the introduction to the Mishnayot, the Rambam is asking a very fundamental question. He says, how come there are so many billions of people in the world and most of them are not really involved in real, I wouldn't say the word Judaism, but they're not making the world a better place. Each one, you know, you have a job, you enjoy yourself, you go, you sleep, you have children, you die, and generation after generation. Even among the Goyim, some people, most people are not engaged in ideas of improving the world and making it a better place. This is the Rambam's question. Says the okay, so this what you said, Salim, is based on the answer of the Rambam. Says the Rambam, me and you cannot learn on Zoom unless someone had to build it. So thousands of people had to come up with the idea. People are manufacturing it. All these people had to prepare clothes for us, food for us, transportation for us, technology, medicine. Says the Rambam, this is very famous because the Rambam brings a mind-boggling type of an example. he says a very wealthy man built a magnificent palace in the desert somewhere, but one of these, huge places, trees, gardens, water, spent a fortune on it. And one day, the Rambam calls him Ish Chacham, was passing by, and he sat under a tree in
Right.
the shade.
Shade. Yeah.
Says the Rambam, this is the purpose, here it is, of this huge palace. What is the Rambam telling us? The Rambam is telling us that our existence is when we are connecting ourselves to the big picture of the purpose of the universe. So the Rav of Brisk, this is very famous, said in this Gemara that you mentioned, in this Gemara, the Gemara says in Avodah Zarah that in the end of days, Hashem says that whoever believes that he deserves to be rewarded should come. So the Romans come, the Persians come, the Greeks, and Hashem says to them, and everyone says, we build bridges for the Jews to travel on. We build marketplaces for the Jews. Hashem says, everything you build for yourself. Now, the obvious question is, this is the end of days. Who are they fooling? I mean,
right, it's already over.
Should we say that GW was built for people from Brooklyn to drive to Lakewood? I mean, should people say that the Zoom was created for thousands of people to study? I told you on Thursday night, yes? Larry was at the class from Nepal.
Yeah, I remember.
Later, my son happens to be in China. My son was there here, Zoom, learning someone from China, someone from Nepal, people in here, people. The answer is, with the way the Rav of Brisk learns the Rambam is, this is the main reason.
These are bridges, Rabbi. These are the bridges and tunnels.
This is exactly what it is. Of course, millions of people are using the GW and the Varizano for millions, but the focus is for those good people who the doctors or nurses or Talmidei Chachamim or honest good people who are. So זה יפה מאוד. זאת אומרת,
you want to hear something even more crazy? So I don't know where it says it, but basically they talk about at the end of the day, is basically we're going to have like servants, malachim, whatever, and you're going to be able to learn all day. You're not going to have to work. That's kind of the pshat. I know the Rambam is like, no, everything's going to go on normally, but so as AI is going to get better and better, and they're going to build robots using this technology.
This is what you
the
mean.
robots are going to do all these functions of all the human beings on Earth, right? So let's say whatever function you say, need someone to build your clothes, need someone to. Then what is the purpose of a human? I know what the purpose of us as Jews is, but then why have billions of people on the planet?
I mean, you're basically you're right. Basically, these machines are making human useless.
For the labor portion of your. So you said we needed people to build. So obviously throughout time, you needed the technology to grow to a point where the technology itself builds itself. So you no longer need human. But up until this point in history, you always needed a human to build the machine or the human to build the technology, and the technology improves as time goes on. But now you get to a point where the technology itself is building itself.
Yeah, very nice.
That's when you
this is it's a very nice twist to understand this Gemara.
That's what I'm thinking about it. What do you do?
All our physical necessity will be basically given to us.
Yeah.
To us doesn't mean only us, yeah.
To the whole world. And then you're going to have a dichotomy where everyone's going to have too much time, and it's going to be, if you don't have any Torah or anything, you're going to go the completely opposite direction, and it's going to create.
No, but the world will go crazy, you realize, because this way, at least every morning you go on the train, 3-4 million people have to go to and back.
The biggest crime holidays and crime is when it's holiday.
Yes.
So
no, but with this you really understand something very interesting.
Yeah.
The word manyan, because if you open a second the Rambam, 'Sefer Shoftim,
okay.
Hilchot Melachim, Look a second, ספר, רמב"ם, ספר שופטים, הלכות מלכים.
I gotta
Yeah,
find. I'm in Shoftim, but I gotta find Hilchot Melachim.
it's all the way at the end, all the way at the end.
Okay, here.
פרק י"ב.
Good bet.
זה מאוד מעניין. It's fascinating. Look, the Rambam says, "Al יעלה הלב שבימות המשיח ייבטל דבר ממנהגו של עולם." Don't think that things are going to completely change. או יהיה שם חידוש, אלא העולם כמנהגו נוהג. וזה שנאמר בישעיהו וגר זאב עם כבש, ונמר עם גדי רמץ, that the predators are going to dwell safely, משל וחידה, זה משל. עניין הדבר, שיהיו ישראל יושבים לבטח עם רישי העולם, which means the Jewish people are not going to be bothered, but all the anti-Semites, those who hate them, this is the Rambam. Look at the Ravad, you see the Ravad there?
Yep.
אמר אברהם,
Hold on. I don't think I have the Rabbi. I have Rabbi Baz.
Anyway, okay, the Ravad is on the side. Look, I'll read you.
Okay.
אמר אברהם, והלא כתוב בתורה, והשבעתי חיה רעה מן הארץ. Okay, you can tell me that Yeshayahu is giving me a metaphor. But the Torah says, Mishbati chaya ra'a min haaretz, the predators are going to disappear. Listen to the Radbaz, look at the Radbaz now. Look at the Radbaz, הלכה א'. אבל מה שראוי, you see there is a second line there? אבל מה שראוי להאמין בזה.
Yep.
You see it?
Here. Mm-hmm.
I really like the idea you said this could be.
Amen.
Listen what he said. אבל מה שראוי להאמין בזה שהדברים כפשוטם בארץ ישראל. כדכתיב, לא יראו ולא ישחיתו בכל הר קודשי, כי מלאה הארץ. והשבעתי חיה רעה מן הארץ. אבל בשאר ארצות העולם, עולם כמנהגו נוהג. It's a beautiful pshat. You says, the way you said it, it comes out beautiful. Which means one of the jobs of Mashiach, if you look at the Rambam in chapter 11, the Mashiach, the Rambam says, the Mashiach is going to build the real Jews back to the land of Israel, yes? So Israel is going to be the benefactor of all this science and all the, where is it going to be manufactured? In Japan, in Germany, in Russia?
Right.
It's hard to believe, Salim, that the AI is going to take over. I mean, you are right, it is going to reduce the forces, the workforce, to a much, much smaller number. But those people will be the providers. So this is Olam Keminago Noeg. Japan, Russia, Europe. But in Eretz Israel, are all the promises that.
So some people look at it in different ways. Some very like significant people, they don't look at it as a negative. Yeah, so you're looking at it as there's going to be no more work, nothing to do. But he says because of AI, efficiency is going to be so great, we're going to have abundance like we've never had in history. You're going to have food so cheap, clothing cheap. You're going to be able to do anything cheaply, you're not going to need money anymore. Everything is going to come cheap. What do you need to pay for it for?
Salim, but you do realize that what keeps the world going is the
No, I know. So this is like
competitiveness.
they're talking about like some kind of fairy tale, but that's their argument is the value of money is basically I trade my time for labor or what my skill, whatever it is, that's what I trade time for. That is the value of money. But when everything becomes cheap and you don't need labor, what do you need money anymore?
Okay, good.
I don't know. But
Look,
either way, I get how if the Mashiach comes and they say that we're all going to sit down in Israel, we're all going to be able to learn and spend time like they did at the Midbar, I understand without miracles how that can happen.
זה יפה מאוד, לא באמת, I like very much this.
The problem is I don't know what the rest of the world is going to do. I don't understand what if without a Torah, without a guiding principle, how are they going to be able to live their life and not go into complete destruction?
Let's take an example. Why does society have so many fans for sports, for superstars in movies? Everyone needs an idol. You realize sport is an idol. Actors are idol. I like to look up to something, yeah? This would remain by the Goyim, okay? So you'll have the Olympics every month. You have Olympics in a different state. Everyone is going to come to. Question now: why would people compete in the Olympics if nothing is going to be worthwhile? I mean, you have to say that AI has to, the world has to have something that everyone is aiming for. So look a second what the Rambam is saying. Look at the Rambam. The Rambam says, like this. Look at the end of Perek Yud Bet Salim, Halacha Dalet.
Okay.
This is the end of the Rambam. לא נתעבו הנביאים והחכמים ימות המשיח, לא כדי שישלטו על כל העולם. The Jews don't have a dream to control, to occupy, to expand. ולא כדי שירדו בגויים, not to be in charge of, ולא כדי שינשאו אותם העמים, and not, we don't need anyone to praise us. ולא כדי לאכול ולשתות ולשמוח, אלא כדי שיהיו פנויים בתורה וחוכמתה. ולא יהיה להם נוגס ומבטל, no one is going to stop them from being engaged in. כדי שיזכו לחיי עולם הבא. Listen what he says now. What you said a minute ago here, Salim.
Yep.
ובאותו הזמן, לא יהיה שם לא רעב ולא מלחמה. There wouldn't be famine or wars. But לא קנאה, no jealousy, and no competitiveness. שהטובה תהיה מושפעת הרבה. There will be abundance of goodness. כל המעדנים, everything is כעפר.
Exactly what they're saying now. This is crazy. This is exactly what they're saying now.
This is
Everything
exactly
will be
what
in abundance. It'll be like nothing.
This is what he's saying. He's saying
unbelievable. But he can never have imagined this is how it's going.
We couldn't imagine it 20 years ago what he meant.
It's unbelievable.
Look what he says. בכל המעדנים, הטובה תהיה מושפעת הרבה, כל המעדנים מצויים כעפר, ולא יהיה עסק כל העולם אלא לדעת את השם בלבד.
Wow.
ולפיכך, he says, all the secrets of the universe will be revealed then. See? Because kids ask me sometimes, he says, Rabbi, I understand, we learn. Told him, you go to a good concert, yes? You can sit 4 hours and the time is flying. Why? Because you're connected to it.
Right.
I mean, anyone, Salim, as you know, if you really taste the real taste of Torah, it's endless. It's endless. And can you imagine? Look at the Rambam says. The Rambam says,
We're gonna be exactly what the Torah says. We're going to be the teachers of the world to teach them about
this is what
Hashem.
he says. He says, ויהיו לפיכך יהיו חכמים גדולים יודעים דברים סתומים ועמוקים. We will understand. I'm using just a simple example. There are hundreds of thousands of stars. To us, it look so-called waste, no?
Yeah.
And here we say every morning, מונה מספר לכוכבים, לכולם שמות יקרא. Every star has a mission. Can you imagine someone is teaching us this? Look at the universe. It's mind-boggling, yes?
To think of it, it's basically what's going to happen is you're going to create a worldwide yeshiva where every single kid from the age of 0 until they pass away have a level in the world.
Exactly
what we're doing all day is we're learning.
This is exactly what he's saying. He's saying that, look on today. Look on today. Even today, you can see kids that went to this type of school, the level of understanding Chumash is this way. If you go to this, at that time, as you're saying now, we have a Zoom. On Zoom, every day you have the greatest rabbis, the greatest teacher. It's
teaching everybody in one shot.
You're right. You see, this is the Torah of Lag BaOmer, Salim in Your Zchut. You see this? We understood now. We're looking at the Rambam. This is a real fire that we have now in the Rambam. You realize that? This is Rambam. The Rambam is saying, Ezra, did you hear what Salim said? Would they predict the AI to create? The Rambam is based on the Gemara. He's predicting it.
He's predicting that at the end of the world, this is the purpose of humanity.
Exactly.
Is that we should learn about Hashem and not
to learn to be good,
stuff.
to learn about Hashem, to learn to the mavhil mod. But you understand, if you take in now this Gemara that we started, that those rabbis are praising the accomplishments of the Goyim, but this is exactly it. Anyway, you look on AI, but someone is running AI. Someone has to feed. This is the people.
Now, yes. But again, I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. But it gets to a point where human intelligence is reached and it surpasses human intelligence. Wherever that point is, it no longer needs a human. That's it. Wherever that point is. So everyone says that there's going to be some crazy apocalypse. They're going to do a lot of whatever. There's a lot of movies about this scenario. But I'm looking at it from the lens of, okay, if it does everything for us, what do we do now?
Look at the Rambam. It's very open, I'm telling you.
Right.
I'm giving you an example, just an example, a small example. Rav Soloveitchik, Alav Shalom, used to give twice a year on a certain Tshuva. It's called the Tshuva Rasha, and Yud Shvat was the Yortzeit of his father. Salim, the man, spoke 4 hours nonstop. Hundreds of people came from Los Angeles, Chicago. Where did they come? If you listen to someone that has what to sell on a higher level, your mind is so captive. You don't feel, no one took a coffee break and no one brought a lunch with him. You just sit and your brain is being fed. This is it.
This also connects to after you pass away, they talk about all them in their yeshivot. The yeshivot, they learn. And I always, what are they doing all day? I don't understand. They're just sitting down and learning. We learn here, they learn there. The whole life is learning. And now it makes sense. You're going from one level to another until you pass away and you reach the physical limit of what you can understand. To now you go to another limit and you'll continue that growth.
This is exactly what the Rambam is saying. The Fichach, he says, ולא יהיה עשר כל העולם אלא לדעת את השם בלבד. ולפיכך יהיו חכמים גדולים ויודעים דברים הסתומים העמוקים. As you say it, everyone's level is going to grow every few months, yes? And because Hashem is infinite, so is the knowledge and what is going to be revealed in the secrets of the. You see, this is our זכות today בזכות רב שמעון בר יוחאי, זה סלים, זהו זה. No, באמת, now I have also, I mean, I knew the Rambam for many years, but now I hear it much better.
Now you understand how it could come. We were imagining it's going to be miracles and Hashem is going to feed everybody like he did in Minman. But what the point is? Why rely on human creation to do that and not do the way of the man? So that's the only thing I'm trying to understand is why we needed to get to a point where we can build something that can do itself.
The difference is like this, look, there's a Shalat Tova, but this is a, see, the Chokhmah in the man was, I mean, let's take me and you today, okay? What did you eat for lunch? Whatever you ate, tuna fish, I ate a little bit of tuna fish, a little salad, some food, okay? Now, if I made the bracha correct, bracha rishona, bracha achona, and I ate with manners, right? I was, quote unquote, mekadesh, the materialistic world. Yes, this is the Ramban of Kedoshim Tiyu. Yes, but if I ate like many times you eat, like you cannot say Shelo Asani Behema. This is the challenge of today. So in the Midbar, Salim, since they just came out of Mitzrayim, they couldn't have regular food because the challenges will be too much. The body, the needs of the body, the desires was too much. Hashem gave them a spiritual food also. This way they can really build themselves and get ready to go to Israel. מה זה איש תחת גפנו ותחת תמנתו? What does it mean? You have a private car and you have a nice farm. What does it mean? What's the point of walking? Yes. As you said before, a real farmer, many years ago, in one of these, settlements were sincerely religious, not the phony ones, accepted Shemitah. So one of the great rabbis spoke to the people and he says, guys, I envy you. I really envy you, man. Your income, everything you have comes from the land, and how can you just say, this is this week's parasha, Shemitah, the Yovel. I think there was a famous picture. So a real farmer, raises his hand, Rabbi, you get it wrong. Because all the 6 years when I work, I realize that my success is from Hashem. This is why the 7th year I can do it. It's not the 7th year it's the 6 years that I'm a farmer. He says, if it doesn't rain, if the sun is not coming out, if it's raining too much, if there is a storm, everything I have in agriculture is from Hashem. So the 6 years are preparing me for that. Now think for a minute. I saw once, it's a very deep insight. It says the fact that the Torah writes the halachot of Shemitah and Yovel shows you that the Torah is a godly Torah. If it's written by a human being, you have to be crazy to tell people once a year, once in 7 years, halas, everyone goes into a kollel, you know what I mean?
Especially back then. The concept of vacation never existed back then.
Right.
We had to introduce Shabbat. Right.
Let your field, and every 50th year, you have consecutive 2 years, 49, 50. If it's a man-made religion, no one would be crazy to write something like that. The answer is, but of course, even today, it's our job to help those people, but the concept, the way we're learning it now, it's very good, which means that the Shemitah and the Yovel are miniature examples how the world can look. You understand?
Right.
Salim, this was a zchut. You see, this year, remember next year, Bezrat Hashem, Mashiach is not around, we'll remember our chidush.
This is eye-opening. What he says, like almost like a nevuah.
No, but remember, but the Pele is, I mean, this is the last halacha of the Rambam. Finish.
Right.
תסתכל, אין יותר, זהו.
לא
הרמב"ם
יהיה
זה
רעב, לא מלחמה.
טוב,
But I get where it could come to a point where there's no more, if you're not all trying to attain assets, but it's
exact,
all,
this is what he's saying.
I can see how you can get to
And
a
the
place
reason
where,
why you're not trying to attain assets is because it's worthless.
right, exactly. What do I need it for?
He says, לא יהיה לא רעב, לא מלחמה, because there's no jealousy, there's no competitiveness.
Because you don't need everything is in the, it's almost like the way we treat, the very minor example, very bad, the way we treat plastic cups. You take them, we throw them in the garbage. Same thing with spoon and same thing.
עד כדי כך, there is a מחלוקת in the poskim if you can use a plastic cup for kiddush. It's nothing.
Right.
It's not a kli.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like it's there. You use it one time, that's it. That's gonna be everything. What do we need it for?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna see it in my lifetime. I don't know, but
no, but at least you see the beginning.
Yeah.
You can use this Rambam. Remember, this is good. This is good. Thank you. I can use it in many parts of it. It's an eye opener. We just looked on it now in a way.
You can quote it. It's not me saying it. I think Elon Musk quoted it himself. Elon Musk. Yeah.
Which part? Which part did he say?
The whole thing. I think I read the article. Is from him. Is that he doesn't believe we're gonna need money anymore. He doesn't believe he's gonna believe there's gonna be so much abundance that we're not gonna need to work. And it's not bad for society. It's good it's going to be the ultimate good. He doesn't go further. I was like, okay, what are people going to do? That's a whole nother problem. And that's what the Rambam comes in and gives you that shot. But he tells you what the outcome of this whole.
You mean it's a prediction of how he looks at the world.
And he's one of there's 5 guys in the world that have that kind of foresight because they're building these things. 5 guys total. And he's one of them. He's not anybody. He's one of the 5 guys that are building these things, and he sees.
If you can find the article, maybe
sure.
send it to my wife.
Commonly quoted. It's not
I made it familiar. Like I remember, as you say, he has the power and understanding to say it. I can say it.
Yeah, he's not anybody. He's not a random person saying it. Yeah, exactly. He is somebody who.
He's the expert that knows, and
Yes.
Fascinating. Have a wonderful, have a meaningful Lag BaOmer, Rabotai. Meaningful.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you. Shalom.
Tov.
Tov.
Thank you, Rabbi. Well, that's all.